2,000 years ago, ancient China was a land of strict laws and powerful families fighting for control. For decades, it's a dangerous place. Then comes an emperor no one saw coming. A humble, quiet man from the countryside who would become one of China's greatest rulers. His name was Lu Heng, known as Emperor Wen. He didn't seize power with an army. He was chosen for his kindness. This is the story of how his humility and wisdom created China's first golden age. As the fourth son of Han founder Lu Bang, Lu Heng wasn't meant to be emperor. His mother, Lady Bo, wasn't favored but was clever and discreet. While Empress Lu and consort Qi clashed, she and her son stayed out of the fray just to survive. She taught him to be cautious, kind, and avoid conflict, a mindset that shaped his future. At the age of 8, he was enfeoffed as the king of Dai and sent to rule his small, remote, and frigid border province. For the next 15 years, he wasn't preparing for the throne. He was just learning how to govern well, managing taxes, defending against nomadic tribes, and caring for his people. He was the opposite of a spoiled prince. He was a practical manager, and this made him perfect. In 180 BC, the powerful Empress Lu died. The palace was in chaos. The old generals who helped found the dynasty wiped out her family in a brutal coup. Now they needed a new emperor. But who? They needed someone gentle, someone who wouldn't seek revenge. Most importantly, they needed someone with no powerful relatives who could threaten them. Their eyes turned to the quiet, unknown prince in the north, Lu Heng. When the messengers arrived and said, "The throne is yours," Lu Heng didn't celebrate. He was cautious. He sent his uncle to the capital to check first. Only when he was sure did he accept. In 180 BC, Lu Heng ascended the throne as the fifth emperor of the Han dynasty, known as Emperor Wen of Han. Once in power, Emperor Wen did something revolutionary. He chose to be kind. He famously eliminated the national farm tax for 12 whole years. It was like a massive economic stimulus package for ancient China. He refused to construct new palaces or gardens, or to decorate his chambers with embroidered drapes. He wore plain silk himself, and even forbade his favorite consort from wearing long gowns that trailed on the floor, all out of deep concern for the hardships faced by his people. Emperor Wen's compassion extended to justice. Deeply troubled by the practice of punishing families for an individual's crime, he abolished collective punishment to protect innocent families, making it a landmark reform in Chinese law. Despite uneven enforcement, it reflected his humane rule. More than a decade into his reign, Emperor Wen took a further step toward reform. He abolished cruel, mutilating punishments, including amputations and nose cuttings. This refers to the famous story of Jing saving her father. A doctor named Chunyu was sentenced to have a limb cut off as punishment for a crime. His young daughter, Jing, believed this was unjust. She courageously followed her father's prison cart all the way to the capital. There, she wrote a letter to Emperor Wen, pleading for mercy. She said, "My father is a good man. This punishment is too cruel. Once a limb is cut off, it can't be restored. I would rather become a slave to spare him." The emperor was so moved that he not only pardoned Jing's father, but also abolished brutal corporal punishments across China, replacing them with flogging. Although his new system was imperfect, it was a major step forward for a more humane form of justice. He believed the government should serve the people, not terrorize them. His care for his mother became legendary. Throughout her 3-year illness, He personally tasted her medicine to make sure it wasn't too hot or bitter. This steadfast relationship provided him strong emotional grounding, which translated into a kind and forgiving approach to governance. He ruled based on Huang-Lao principles, governing lightly to let people recover from the wars. His non-action meant no rash policies. Instead, he reduced interference so society could heal. He wasn't weak. He was strategically wise. He kept peace with northern nomads through diplomacy and marriage instead of endless war, saving countless lives and resources. For 23 years, Emperor Wen's peaceful rule healed China. The population grew, wealth increased, and the kingdom became stable and strong. When he died, he left a rich and powerful kingdom to his son, Emperor Jing. Together, their reigns are known as the Jing Golden Age, a period of prosperity that became the model for all of Chinese history. He proved that a leader's greatest strength can be compassion and humility. He wasn't a famous conqueror, but he was the healer China desperately needed, and his legacy of prosperity set the stage for one of the world's greatest civilizations.